Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I have never done one of these story time videos before, but I find them so incredibly interesting. Almost anytime one of these videos pops up in my feed, I click it first before anything else. If you have not already, please click that subscribe button. I'm gonna have it floating in this screen and join the family. I feel like we kind of need a squad name, you guys. I wouldn't be one of those people that like overuses it and makes everyone like so annoyed and crazy, but I feel like you get to a certain point where you know your subscribers so well and you just get to really build a relationship with them that it's like appropriate to have a squad name. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know what you think our squad over here on this channel should be called. And without saying too much else, we're going to go ahead and get started on the story which you came here to see. So we're taking it all the way back to 8th grade Kait. I was a little spitfire. I had so much sass. I thought I was like the bee's knees. Life has kind of like mellowed me out and humbled me down just a little bit. But like when I was a lot younger, I just thought I was the coolest thing ever. So I'm going to be telling you about my 8th grade experience when my teacher called me a slut. I mean, even just saying that still like just shocks me, but like, oh my gosh, how traumatized as an 8th grader are you if your teacher calls you a slut? It was a teacher that I honestly didn't super duper care for. She was just kind of like, okay, everyone like had nicknames for her, and like some people loved her and some people just really didn't like her. So, and of course you're like in 8th grade and you're like rebellious and you're like, yeah, I hate school, I don't like my teachers, or at least that's how me and most of my friends were. So anyway, most of us had a dress code when we were in school. I'll be the first to tell you I broke the dress code a lot. I don't even know sometimes how I was like allowed to wear certain things. Much love, mom and dad, but like certain things I'm like, oh my gosh, what in the world was I wearing? So it was Spirit Week and there was like a whole bunch of things, and then there was one day that nobody liked, and we were the 8th graders, so we were like the upperclassmen. So we thought we would do something so rebellious. Me and a whole bunch of my friends decided, hey, screw crazy hair day, we're gonna wear super short plaid skirts and see if we can get away with it. So for the dress code, most people know, and I think this is kind of standard for most schools, but like you put your hands down to your side and then like wherever your fingertips land on your legs is like how long, or I guess short, your skirt or like shorts or whatever the heck is supposed to be. But let's just say the skirt that I had was just so breaking the dress code it wasn't even funny. In this teacher's defense, I was like, I don't want to say I was being a slut because I certainly wasn't, but I definitely was not dressing appropriate for my age. We all decided to go out and get those super short plaid skirts, and if anybody is my age, I don't know if that was just something that was kind of popular where I lived or if that's something that like kind of across the board was like a trend everywhere, but me and a few of my other friends, we went to Wet Seal and we bought the shortest plaid skirts known to mankind. I'm talking like the waistband was like this big and the fringe in the bottom was like this big. Funny part about this story and kind of what sparked this is I was at my parents' house last night and I went up into my old room, the pink room, if anybody remembers that. You're awesome. So anyway, I went into my old room at my parents' house and I was just kind of going through some stuff. I still had some clothes left in there that I just never took, and then some random things that my parents just never cleaned out. So I was looking through some stuff that I had in my closet and I found the skirt that I'm talking about in this video. It was like a gray plaid skirt with like pink and lime green, well like kind of muted pink and lime green stripes. I wore this to school with like a little tight black like Henley top, probably something like that. And we decided to like make it kind of a sexy schoolgirl day. So believe it or not, most of the teachers didn't say anything. I don't think they quite knew how to address the situation because there were so many of us who did it. I just remember walking down the main hall in the school, and I was with one of my friends and then my boyfriend at the time, my 8th grade boyfriend. And we were like walking down to our class and the teacher was behind me. So I was walking down to my class, I was like minding my own business, I was like with my friends and we were all wearing the stuff, but I was honestly like a super big troublemaker in school. I was like probably the kid that teachers really didn't care for. So anyway, she stopped all of us and I turned around and she probably started to address the situation appropriately, but I'm sure my sass combined with my friends being there, we were just kind of like, huh? Like, what are you saying to us? Like, we're cool 8th graders. Like, what are you saying? So I honestly don't even remember like the first part of the conversation anymore. I just remember I probably said something that got under her skin. My friends probably said something that got under her skin. And she was like, you guys don't need to be walking down the halls looking like sluts. And I was like, whoa, girl. As a younger, kind of sassier person, I guess, I was really quick on my toes all the time. She was obviously referring to her skirts. She said they're way too short, they just look slutty. And I said, okay, well then what color underwear am I wearing? My friends obviously thought that was really funny, and she got really pissed and was like, you need to go to the principal. And I was like, well, I'm already marching my way down there to tell him what you said. So we ended up going to the principal's. Again, I don't remember the entire exchange, but I know for sure that we had said something that got under her skin, because I can't imagine any teacher just saying that to like, just out of the blue. But still. So we were like in the principal's office for a very long time, and each of us had to like go in his room and tell the story individually, and we were all sitting there and like all of our stories lined up. So I remember her getting in trouble for this, and we were just like, haha, like you can't get us in trouble. We didn't actually get in trouble. They just made us change into our gym shorts. It like really was not that big of a deal, like as far as the, hey, you need to change your clothes aspect. But it really did just kind of like escalate to a crazy thing, and like I'll never forget that, because I was in 8th grade. I had never really had anybody like call me out like that, I guess, or you know, just say something so derogatory towards me. I mean, of course I knew what a slut was, but I had never had anybody direct that lingo towards me, so I was just like really taken back by that. The dress code really was not even that enforced after that whole situation, and literally none of the other teachers said anything to any of us. And I remember there being like 8 to 10 girls who wore the skirts that day. I don't know, our school was kind of a crazy school anyway. It was a public school, it was not private, so a lot of times it was kind of a free-for-all. And not only that, but the actual class of kids that I was in were quite rebellious. Again, I feel like it was definitely like equal fault on both sides. I used to have major like respect issues, I guess, towards you know, not elderly, because she really wasn't elderly, but you know, just towards people who were older than me, wiser than me. I did used to have some issues with that. So obviously this is like so many years ago. I completely grown out of all that crap. It's so funny though, reminiscing on these stories and just thinking like how in the world I would ever act a certain way that I would like literally never act now. So anyway, needless to say, that whole entire day, all of us were like spreading around this story and saying, oh my gosh, Miss blah 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 called us sluts, and like the whole school knew about it. It was like the biggest gossip for the rest of the week, and everybody was just like freaking out and thought it was the craziest thing. I did actually end up getting transferred out of her class because I, for one, didn't really want to be around her, and for two, I think probably it just seemed like a good idea not to have the girls who were there in that exchange in her classroom. Obviously a line had been crossed, and it just would have been a very hostile learning environment, so I do remember getting transferred out of her class, which was kind of weird. So it was definitely quite an interesting experience. I can honestly say in all of my years in school, nothing like that ever happened again or had happened previously. I had never really had a teacher like come at me like that for what I was wearing. So that was the story as I remember it. I have so many stories of my younger years and just all that sass. So I definitely want to know if any of you guys have ever had a situation in school where a teacher said something to you that was like totally out of line and they ended up getting in trouble for it, or you ended up getting in trouble for instigating them. Because like I said, it was definitely like equal on this whole situation. I know that I was not being the most respectful, but there also was definitely a line that should not have been crossed. That was crossed. So if you guys have ever had any type of experience like that, it doesn't have to be the same, but like anything in the wheelhouse of a teacher saying anything inappropriate, leave your comments down below. I love kind of reading through your stories and your comments and all the stuff that you guys leave me. But anyway, so if you enjoyed this video or this type of video, make sure to give this a thumbs up so that I know. Don't forget to subscribe so you are notified of all of my future uploads. I hope you guys are having an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world when you're watching this, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.